In this video, we'll talk about how to physically connect the FieldTemp sensors to your logger to make reliable, weatherproof connections easily in the field. Now that you understand all the components of the FieldTemp system, we need to connect it all together to make a functional logging setup. To do that, we're going to need sensors. So in this case, I have one sensor string that's got 7 sensors in it. And I have a surface air temperature sensor and a radiation shield mounted to our radiation shield Nanook case plate. You'll need cables. So I've got a 6.5 foot cable and a splitter since I'm using 2 sensors. And of course, you'll need a logger. So we're gonna connect all this together, and then later on, we'll look at how we can configure and start logging data. The first step is to inspect the connections on all of your sensors. Make sure that there's no dirt or grime in them and that they're clean and free of corrosion. Next, I'm going to take one of the cables, and these cables are keyed so that they only mate one way. I'm going to rotate it until I feel it snap in, and then tighten the collar just with finger pressure. Press down once or twice and make sure that it's all the way seated, because there's an O-ring in the top of that connector that needs to be compressed for this to be a watertight connection. Okay, so now we've got our sensor string connected. I'm going to take my splitter, and normally you would have a cable coming off each end of the splitter probably, depending on where you're going to position your sensors. But in this case, I'm going to connect it right to the bottom of my air temperature sensor and tighten it the same way. And finally, I'm going to connect my extension cable on the temperature string to the splitter. And this is done the same way. Just push and tighten to make sure that that O-ring is nice and compressed. So now we have all of our sensors connected. It's time to connect it to the data logger. I'm going to close the data logger and lock it down just to make this a little easier. On the side of the data logger, I'm going to find the sense port and connect my cable to it. Okay, we can go ahead and open our case back up now. All right, so that's all there is to it. We've now connected an air temperature sensor and a 7-element temperature string to our data logger. It's all weatherproof and it's easy enough. You can even do it with gloves on. Now we're ready to move on to system configuration and taking some test readings from our sensors. We're going to do that in the next video. Be sure to check it out, as well as our extensive documentation on the system. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.